All right, so I started. All right, so I'm talking about the call put lines again. So to start off, the indicator I have is the call put indicator. And all you do is put in, when Jimmy says the number, you just punch it into wherever you want it. If he says it's his put line and his target, you just type it in here. The red line's obviously the put, the green line is the call, and I just left blue line, whether it's up or down, is target lines. And that's at 9:25. So this morning, Jimmy was saying that since we were already below the call line or the put line, he was wanting to see a pullback, up, and then to get in. I will do that right now, Blur. If you go here, you can get those indicators. I have a bunch of them, and I have to go in and give you access to it, but I'll do that here after the chat. So at 9:25, I punched in Jimmy's call put lines, and the very next minute, obviously it pulled back. And when it pulled back, what I did was, where's my lines at? Oh, here it is, right in front of me. So I put an order in here for a put. And then how I have it set up was it automatically will put in a take profit and then a stop loss. So initially, like, this stop loss could be way up here. This take profit might be way down here. I have it set for like 50 points for take profit, 100 points for a stop loss. And then once it's on there, what I'll do is I'll go into trading view. I'll just move this up and say, okay, we hit here, take it. And then my put line, or not put line, my stop loss line is this one. I'd put it somewhere around there. So then it closed up here. Hey, Chica. The very next candle, boom, it buys me in. So when this happens, automatically, as soon as we break this line, because it moves so fast in the morning, I'm moving my stop loss down, locking in profits. So no matter what, if we pull up, I'm locking in. What happens with this candle and how I trade is we pushed way down here, so I'm following it. It pushed way down there, and usually I don't follow it like perfectly. I try to split the difference almost. Like as the price is moving down, I'm moving my profit. That way, if it starts wicking back up, I'll drop it. And that's what happened here. I'm moving it down, moving it down. I seen that it started coming back up. I dropped it. So that's where I got my stop loss. I got boom, and I got taken out. So I made some money. And I posted it in the chat this morning how much I made. And just so you guys know, I ended up blowing that damn account anyway. It's NQ is what I trade Blaren. So, but that was how I did it. But look what the very next candle did. It pushed down. It hit his target line exactly. So how I trade is more conservative, I guess, is by moving this stop loss. I don't go line to line, even though it hits his lines crazy accurately. But I'll lock in profits on the way down. Not saying you have to do that. It's just the way I trade, because with prop firms, the way they do their drawdown, unless it's an end of day one, you almost have to lock in profits as it's moving. So that's how I did his put line. And then I'm like, you know what? His call line hasn't hit yet. So what I'm going to do is I place an order in here, take profit, again, stop loss somewhere down here. So I drag my, take profit to the green. I drag my stop loss to, okay, if we break it and pull back, I'll get out here. So I'm already done. Even before market opens, technically I'm done trading if I wanted to be. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't have to trade anymore. I think I showed it was like 9,000 or something like that this morning. So then as market opens, so the market opening candle, it still pushes up like Jimmy wanted anyway. It pushed up above his put line and then pulled back. So technically, if you're playing QQQs or SPY or whatever and have to wait till market opens, you could have took this one here. And where did it go? again, his profit target. Boom, hits. Again, crazy accurate how Jimmy is with this. Insane. But I already in and out. I already took the put line. I don't take it over and over again. I do it one and done. I'm like, okay, I'm done with that one. What I done before was I'd take the break of the line and then I'd also get in at the break of this candle down, but I didn't do it because I made crazy money this morning on it. So now I'm just waiting to see if it's going to push up and hit the call line or not. That almost bought me in, so I'm like, oh, damn, we're actually going to break his call line. And look what happens. Boom. Again, I didn't take the full ride up. I'm moving my profit target up, or my stop loss up. It didn't, again, just move up. So as I'm moving up, it started pulling back, and I probably got out maybe around there, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, because the way futures move, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's constantly fluctuating. So I'm moving this up, and then I see it started pulling back, and I don't care. I'm locking in profits because we never know with NQ. It can stop here and pull way back down here within seconds. So that's another reason why I lock profits in. But as you can see with Jimmy's call line, it hits his profit target. And not only that, if I was to put another order in here, look, it broke it. It could have made money there. Because I'm pretty sure it pulled back first and then it broke up. I could have, entered it again. So this is a conservative way of entering it at the close of the candle that breaks it. That's a conservative entrance. Or an aggressive entrance is taking it as soon as it breaks it. I do this every morning. And this is how, for me, it's been 100% for 3 weeks because I move my stop loss up as it's moving and I lock in profits. Sometimes I'm locking in profits here. It's not huge profits. I lock it in and then it still bounces up high. It doesn't matter. I'm happy. I lock in those profits. It's just insane how accurate his lines are. What's your, is that bracket order? What's your, so my bracket order, so let me go over here. And let me switch to N. Okay, so this is live now. This is MNQ live, and this is my account I have with Apex. So right now I have it set up for a 50-point profit target and a 100-point stop loss. So right now we're going to break at 7.5. So if we break 7.5, I'll get in. Oops, I don't want two. I only want one. Shit. It pushed up. It bought me in. As you can see, my profit target's up here already, and my stop loss is down here. And what I usually do is I'll move my stop loss. Hey, if we pull back a fib point, I'm going to move it there. If we move up a fib point, it's going to buy me out. Or, again, you could just hit this buy market and sell market. The only problem doing this on NQ, it moves so fast. So if you're hitting buy market thinking you're buying in here, it might already be way up here and buy you in way up here. So for me personally, I always have my entrances pre-planned on a certain point before and we were talking today where some people were mentioning how they're, I don't want to say scared, but they're hesitant. They're not getting in a trade because, for some reason they're hesitant. This takes away that hesitant. Okay, so it's moved up. So what I'll do is I'll move my stop loss up and end up hitting my take profit on that. But that's how I do it. I'll move it up. But anyway, with the whole, hesitation. So like if we move back down below that 219.75, I'll get in. So I already put an order in. Shit, two. I didn't want two contracts. By putting that order in already, it's going to buy me in or not. And I have a stop loss already preset. So once I'm bought in, it's just basically going to hit my stop loss or it's going to hit my take profit. One way or the other. So I let it, like I said, I have my order in, let the market come to me and buy me in where I want it to, and then move my profits or stop loss accordingly on that. And that's how I do away with the hesitation. I have a trade plan set up that, oh, fuck, that already went down and hit my profit target. I didn't even have to move my stop loss on that. his call put lines, yeah. So throughout the market, I use these fib lines, kind of like here. Now, if we push back up above 215, I'll get in. Actually, it should be 215.50. These are the extensions that I play during the day. At night, they don't hit as bad. All right, so if we break below 212, that's going to become my new entrance. But I play these extensions like this. So hold on, let's see. We're going to break below it. All right. So now the 169 becomes my entrance. If we pull back up, it'll buy me in there. Of course, my stop loss, I don't want it way down there. I'm going to actually move my stop loss up here. But these extensions, usually they act as a normal support that, as you can see, it'll wick down and then it could push back up like it did earlier. Through all this, it pushed back up. We may continue down. If it does, I'll just cancel my trade and I won't get in. And then if we push back up, obviously it's going to buy me in. My stop loss is going to be right below where it's stopping anyway. My target's usually the next fib point up, or I can push it up to this 236 and then just trail it up. All right, so there it bought me in. We'll see if it continues up or comes down and hits my stop loss down here. And this is exactly how I trade during the day. It's buying me in. It's either going to pull back, hit my stop loss now, or it's going to push up and hit my profit target, and I'll move my stop loss into profit if we do push up. We'll see what it does here. And as you can see, I can hold this and drag it. And as soon as I let go of it, that's where it's going to land. So I'll split the difference halfway between where I got bought in at and that fib point. That's where I'll drop it if we move up past it. That way I'll lock in some profits. But doing it this way and having a trade plan, like I said, it does away with your hesitation. So if you find yourself hesitating to get in, have a certain trade plan and follow it. Like for me, the call put line is my initial opening trade. So I literally put an order in on the call line and the put line. And then throughout the day, once we hit these extensions, this is how I trade. I'll put an order in to go back up, or it's going to push down and hit my stop loss, one or the other. It's just, one of them is going to hit. Normally in NQ, during the day, I'll trade anywhere between 1 and 5 contracts. Now, if it's an Apex eval, like this one here is a 300K, I usually trade 17 contracts with it, because like the call put line's hitting, and I'm usually making 3, 4, 7, 8,000. So this is going to hit my stop loss probably. Sometimes, like today, I actually bumped it up to 34 contracts. Okay, so that pulled down and hit my stop loss on that one. So no biggie, it hits a stop loss. Not every trade's going to be 100%. So that's one of my my other trade plan is these extensions. Now my other trade plan is, okay, if we're consolidating on a fib point, so we'll just say right now, even though it just broke this 10%, so if we break above it, I'll get in. All right, so we hit it. Again, stop loss is going to be right below the 0 line. So whenever we're consolidating around a fib point, like up here, this 236 area, that definitely would be a buy-in. If it broke above it, buy in to go low, and if it were below it, buy in to go high. And then I'll just drag my stop loss up as we move into profit. Lock in some profits here. Yeah, it's a eval. So with on an eval, you can make as much as you want. Now, if it's an actual funded account, it's like 30%. I'll just show you. I'm going to drop a stop loss here. So that's like dragging my stop loss up, and then obviously getting stopped out. But that's kind of how I do it. So this is obviously the micros. So if we were actually trading the minis, that would have been 10 times the profit. And then that time, 10 times that, and then times 5 would have been how much I would have made there. But since, I want to show an example here, just in micros, in case it does something stupid, and I don't want to blow this account right now. But so that's how I trade consolidation with the fibs. I'm one of those people where people like, oh, we're consolidating, no trade. I love it because I'm scalping the shit. Like right now, I put in 11.75. If this is during the day, this is how I'd be trading. Okay, if we break it back down below 11.75, I would expect it to come down to where it hit before, and then have a stop loss right there if we go crazy and push back up. Okay, bought me back in, lock in profits. All right, so made a few bucks again there. But exactly like this is how I trade. We haven't broke the zero line, so now I'm putting it at 11.75 back to the upside. We break back up, I'm going to get in. I'd like for it to move to the 236, but same thing, I'll move my stop loss. If we break above it, I'll just follow it up with my stop loss. But during the day, it moves a lot quicker. And again, I'm playing NQ, so I'm making more than, like right now, I'd probably be up 600 bucks if I was playing NQ, or 60 bucks for that times 10. I'd be up $60 right now, and that'd be with one contract. Okay, I will add you to the wait list. All right, so I gave you guys access. Now, if we break and close below the zero line, I'll close this and be like, okay, it's not consolidating on this 10% anymore because we closed below the zero line, and I'm going to stop this trade here. And then since we're close to these extensions, I'll start playing the extensions. I think I gave everybody access so far that had joined it. So again, I start out with the Jimmy's call put lines here. I'll put the order in just like you see me putting the orders in with the fib points. Before I'd put an order in here, put an order in there, kind of like I did right here. Okay, I already got a pre-order in. Again, that saves my hesitation of, man, do I want to get in? And then by the time I think about it, it's already past it. No, if we hit it, I'm in. Again, if we close below the zero line, I'll cancel this trade and be like, okay, that 10%'s off the board now. And then I'll look for something else. And then literally, this is how quick I'm in and out. I'm in, drag my stop loss up, I'm out, or it whips up, hits my profit target. It's literally that quick, of how I trade. It's in and out type deal. All right, so here we're broke below it. I'm probably going to close below it. Now, if we do, and it actually pushes down to these extensions, I'm going to move my... Oh, shit, I didn't hit it fast enough. So now I have to move it over here. What is that, 20, 25? As you can see, I tried to buy in at that 10%, and look what it did. It pushed up, it would have hit my profit target. And that's why I play these extensions, because that's usually what it does, is it'll hit those extensions, and if it's not going to be a downtrend continuation, it'll pop back up like you saw it, and that would have been profit target. The only problem with moving it here on TradingView, sometimes if I drop it and price has already moved up past it, it kind of locks my orders on TradingView that I can't move them. And then I have to come over here to the DOM of Tradevate and have to move them over here on the DOM. All right, so now we're pushing back down. Let's see if we're going to, all right, 225, 250, is that what it was? All right, so there, bought me in. Move this back to the... So when I do these extensions, my stop loss is below the 272, and usually my profit target's at 236. But seeing how like I moved my stop loss up, it already moved past my stop loss. So now if I wanted to get out of that trade, I'd have to hit the X button to actually get out of this trade. And then it's going to reset my stop loss down back here to the 272 area. It's a cool thing that this happened that way. You could guys see it live that sometimes price moves so quick. I went to move my stop loss up and it moves so fast back against me. And this is right here's a good example of why I take those quick profits. Because look, now it just stopped me out for $20 when I could have made $4. As you saw, I tried to get out there, but it moved back so quick. And that's the reason why I take profits as quick as I do. 96.5, 96.5. All right, so now I'm going to go a little crazy here. Since I'm trading live here, I might as well just go all out. All right, so wait to see if we're going to stay above the extensions or close back below it. I'd like for us to close back below it or push below the extensions. And if we do, I'm going to put an order in at 10%. All right, so bought me in. Oh shit, I don't got my take profit and stop loss in yet. Son of a bitch. What is that? 80. And you'll see it'd be like maybe 1,000 points, if not more, stop loss. All right, so I'm going to lock in profits as it's pushing up. All right, so 170 or whatever it was, it pulled back and had some slippage. So there, I made about 100 and some bucks. I'll close out of that. And I need to get my bracket order on. I didn't have a bracket order preset, so. But I'll keep playing these extensions until it breaks below. So 25 again, 1925. Shit, I missed the order. So it did break below and pull back up. I ended up missing it. Jimmy, at 925, he verbally says what they are, and I think he posts them on his one chart, but I'm not sure if that chart's shared. So at 925, he usually says, hey, I'm looking for, puts on the queues would be whichever number, and then you just type it in. And then if, it's on the, or calls, he'll say that and type it in. No, I don't know I want to say PineScript is the TradingView coding. So I know a little bit about PineScript. I'm not sure what Thinkorswim is, and I don't know how to code it on Thinkorswim. I mean, you can always go in and manually plot your lines, but of course, if you're trading futures, I'm not sure how you convert it without the actual lines. All right, so now we broke back above, so these extensions are out of play. What time is it? It's 8:30, so we're pushing up. I'm going to play if we push back below, because every time we broke below the zero line, you can see how far down we went. I'm going to put an order in here. We break back above the 10%. I'll get out. And actually, since I move my stop loss quick, I'll move it down here in case you do a crazy wick down. It'll buy me out way down there. Uh-oh, did it freeze up? No. And I'm actually going to move my stop loss in case it does break quickly, and hopefully I could drop it fast enough. As you see, there's a gap here between these two candles. More or less, that gap's going to get filled. Right there, the gap filled. Lock in profits. Drag it down. Some made. What happened? I should have made some money on that. I must have had some crazy slippage or something's going on with the trade of 8. Yeah, I thought I already had 100 and some bucks. Unless did I lose money? But now, again, these extensions, if we hit, I could put another order in it to 2005. We're already above it. Oh, that's why, because shit. I'm trading the wrong fucking contract. Let me cancel out. I'm on H. I need to be on M. Fuck. That's why I probably lost money on that one. The pink line would be there. It should be reddish or pink, but you could change it. I'm pretty sure you could change the color on it. Yeah, if you want, you can actually change the colors of whatever you want because it says target, call, and put. So it's up to you. You don't want dash lines. You want solid lines. You could change that also to solid or, well, I guess I got it set up that the solid is dotted. It's either going to be dashed or dotted, I guess. Not solid. Oh yeah, on his levels. Do I already have? All right, so his is. Let me cancel out all this stuff here. So yeah, this pink line here, that is yesterday's high, and then the pink line down here is yesterday's low. The purple is no, blue is pre-market high. Yellow, I believe, is pre-market mid, and purple's pre-market low, or vice versa. No. Purple's pre-market mid, and then the yellow line would be pre-market low. But I don't think I have a pre-market low on this one. Yeah, he didn't give a pre-market low today. And then I also have the high-low indicator on there that you guys can grab. And this is for people who, were having trouble with the high-low, what's a higher low, and all that stuff. As you can see, here's a great example. The higher high, and then it started going, it created a higher low thinking it should break at higher high, but it actually did a lower high, which then breaks the higher low to a lower low. Another lower high breaks that lower low. Another lower high breaks that lower low. Lower high breaks that, as you can see, and so on until we break back above. And now it's like, okay, we have a higher high, higher low. Technically, this, would have brought higher than that. Market decide not to and come back down. So I usually don't give away my Pine Script information that way. Usually, because I end up for non-members, I usually it's free for members, and then for non-members, I charge for anybody who's a non-member. But for everybody tonight, But just to reiterate, guys, and show you if let's go back again here for the call put lines, how crazy accurate it is. I don't know how Jimmy does it, but I've said this from the get-go when I've been with Jimmy that he's actually like a robot from the future, kind of like the Terminator. He come back to help us. Again, he says this at 9:25 in the morning, pre-market, guys. Look how crazy this is. And he even mentioned we're below it. He's looking for a pullback above it, right? And what did it do? And this is even before market open. It pulls up again, and I put my order in there. So if you're playing futures, literally even before market open, you're making money. And look what it does even before market open. Almost hits perfectly. Yeah, it goes a little bit below his target line and then pulls up. And then as market opens, what does it do? Exactly what he said it was going to do. Pull up, pull down, hits the target line. I mean, it is insane. I don't know how he does it, but it's insane how accurate these call put lines are. And that's why I did away with my 3-minute orb, and I go right here. This is my go-to in the morning, 100%. That's why I'm always like eager at 9:25 because I'll get into it even before market opens. For him to to say his call put lines, and because it's just insanely how accurate. And to be honest, for the 3 weeks, 5 days a week, it's 15 trades technically, plus today be 16 trades. But going both ways, like today, both of them hit. So technically there was 2 of them today. So it'd be 17 trades. And they've hit. You're not saying the call line hit every day, because if it was a downtrending day, it never did push up. But when it does push up or down, it's 100%. Past 3 weeks, you make money whichever way it breaks. And this is playing it at the break of the line. And again, you could play it conservative, wait for the candle close, and then get in and play it. I take profits quickly. That's how, for me, it's 100% accurate because I'm taking profits quickly. So saying that, let's go back to this candle here. All right, so say it breaks here. It buys me in at 704. I'm following it down, 702.75. I'm probably not going to take profit on that one because I wait for a 2-point move. It almost hit the 2 points for me to drag my stop loss down. So that one there would have stopped me out, I guess. But normally, I'm taking profits a hell of a lot quick. I literally, when he gives the numbers, if we're above the line, I'm putting an order in on the line. Put an order in on the line. So as soon as it breaks, it's buying me in. Is how I've been playing them. And then I have my stop loss to where as soon as it breaks, I'm ready to drag it down. I mean, literally, as soon as it breaks, I'm at break even with the stop. I'm dragging it down. I'm breaking even. And then as soon as it's within, like, breaks 2 points, I'm at 2 points profit no matter what. I'll lock in those 2 points profit. And then I'll just keep dragging it down, kind of like I showed you how I was trading tonight with over here. So now we're kind of in between the fib points, but we're consolidating not on a fib point. So that's like a no trade for me. Although at 1999.25 could be a trade. Ah, shit, that time it didn't lock me in, did it? It didn't. Oh, yeah, it did. It locked in my profit or my stop loss here. What the hell? It didn't stop me out. It should have stopped me out there. All right, so I'm going to get out because it, for some reason, wasn't stopping me out. And again, as you can see, it broke. I made 125. It's starting to pull back. And who knows, it may pull back the whole way. And guess what? I made 125, but if I didn't drag my stop loss up, I could have lost $800 or $900 because it hits my stop loss. That's why I like to lock in profits quick. I posted for the indicator here, but Jimmy at 9:25 in the morning Eastern time, he'll actually say what his lines are, and then you type them in. Oops, over here on the call put, whatever he says it is, you just type it in here and enter those values, and it'll convert it for you if you're playing. Now I have one also where it says symbol. It says QQQ because I'm on the NQ. If you trade ES, you just change this to SPY, and then Of course, he's going to give you the SPY numbers though, which are different than the NQ numbers. So you have to make sure that if you're on NQ, make sure this is on QQQs and you're writing down his Q numbers because he'll also give his SPY information also, which works with ES the same way. Everything's it's just NQ moves so fast. That's why I trade it, because I could get in and out and be done really super quick. Awesome. Jimmy has a TradingView referral code. I can't remember where he posted it. Where is he? Where did he post that at? I'm not sure if it's in the community or welcomes tab. Let me look for it real quick. Getting started, maybe. That's Patreon. I know he had it posted somewhere. I just can't remember where he posted it. There it is. So if you don't have TradingView yet, you can use Jimmy's code. There. Give you a discount, and it's always nice to support the people who help out. But any questions on that or anything like that? With the lines, it's different for NQ than it is for ES. The conversions are different. Oh, Blaren, you sign up? You should be approved. All level was 5647 on ES. You know the number he actually gave? Because I'm sure he didn't give you the actual number. It'd have to be a 100 number. Oh. Yeah, whatever it was, then that's probably correct to 5. Of course, today was, again, it's different because the contracts are in the process of rolling over, but it should roughly still be the same conversion for you. Actually, let me just look here. Let me move this over to the M. Where are we at? Oh, we're way up here on this contract. Yeah, I guess it. Yeah, so even on this contract, it would have worked out. I was using the older contract today, but even on the new contract, it'll convert it properly, so that's good. Yeah, it's insane, and that's why I preach. For those who trade futures, it benefits you to join, because just literally trading a call put line is going to make you the $65 or $50 you're paying a month, and then some. I mean, it's insane how this is going to work. You do it, Blair, and that'd be awesome. And then and with anybody who does the prop firms, if you're not familiar with like setting up Tradevate, kind of like I have it, I can go over that. I mean, we still got about 45 minutes, I think, before Jimmy comes on his and does the chats, trading review stuff. If anybody needs help on that, I can explain it. And then, that's what I want to show. Buy, he's in here. So how I do my fib points, I also do. I draw them on the yearly. Let me get rid of this. So let me go to the daily. And this is how I do my fib points for the yearly. Let me just hide these ones. Oops. And this is since February, our downtrend line on the Qs or NQ, and we finally broke above it. And we're right at the 236. I think I mentioned that the other day. Yesterday it might have been, or was it this morning? Today, Monday? Yeah, it was this morning or last night. I was saying that 236 line is a possibility to the upside. But this is how I draw the fib lines. I go back to the start of the year, which is January 2nd. All right, so here's January 2nd. Obviously, we pushed up, so that's kind of how my fibs are going to start from the bottom to the top here. So now what I do is just like my regular fibs, I'll wait until they break this 272 level and close, and then I redraw them. So that didn't happen until the February 14th. And as you can see, even on the daily, it bounces off these extensions. What did it do? It bounced back up, bounced back up. Here, bounce back down, bounce back down. Until we broke it, which was this candle here. Then I replot the fibs to that point. Of course, we broke down below, so now I have to reverse these fib points. And then this candle here closed below that 272, so that now becomes the zero line. Here, we continue down. This candle here broke and closed below the 272, so that one now becomes my new zero line. Here, and then obviously this candle, this one hit it, it pushed below it, but it closed above it. So that's not, I don't redraw it, but this candle here closed below it, so that's where I'll redraw it to. And then that gets me my fib points on the daily, which when I trade, I'll go to the 1 minute chart and I'll have those daily fibs on the chart. That way, I could see, okay, on the daily side of it, where's the possibility? If I'm thinking we're going to push up to that 236 line, then, I'll look for it. Of course, this is on the old contract. I got to redo this on the new contract, which I don't think this new contract will go back to the beginning of the year, though, which sucks. No, it don't. But once the new contract actually gets populated on the NQ1, I'll be able to do it. So for your very first prop firm, personally, right now I would probably do Top Step because it's $49. Apex, I can't remember what their discount's going to be for the 50K, and it might be around $33 or $38. But Top Step has better rules compared to Apex. So personally, I would do a Top Step now just to learn the ins and outs. And then when you do it, trade the micros. And yeah, for 50K, so you have like $2,000 to play with, so to speak. You have a $2,000 drawdown. Plus, it's an end of day drawdown, so you literally have that $2,000 throughout the day to play with. I don't have Top Step doesn't have an affiliate program, so you could just go to topstep.com to do it. And once use that, like I said, with micros, don't worry about making a bunch of money. Learn the ins and outs of futures, the movements of futures, how it works with your trade plan with using one micro. So you're only going to make very little money, just like I showed you here with, let me go back to the MNQ. If I'm only playing one contract, I'll just buy in shit, did it buy me in? All right, so it buys me in. And as you can see, it's I'm not making a bunch of, oh shit, wrong one. There we go. I'm only making $2.50 or, with this movement. Don't worry about the price here. Just worry about your trade plan. However it is, whatever you're getting in on, worry about that. And then worry about making money when you switch over to the micro or the minis. So when you first start out, learn how futures move, whether it's ES or NQ by playing those micros, and then going that route. Don't try to make a ton of money right away. Just learn, please. Just learn the process, because if you try to pass the account right away or make a ton of money, you're probably not understanding the movement of futures, and you may get lucky. But okay, so you've been watching it, so you kind of get a gist of it. So, for example, Kevin, with a 50K account, you can't let your account go below 48,000. If it goes below 48,000, you blew that account. You can make $5,000, it still stays at 48,000 for that day. So technically, say in the morning you're up $5,000. So plus that 2,000, you're up $7,000 that technically you can lose. Now with Top Step, they got a 50% consistency. So in a 50K account, you need $3,000 profit to pass that account. On any given day, you can only make $1,500 or less. Anything over $1,500, it adds to your profit target. So for example, if you make $1,700 in one day, instead of needing $3,000, you're actually going to need $3,800 to pass that account. On the flip side now, even trading these micros with one contract, if for some reason I'm stupid and I just let it go all day long and it pulls back against me, that one contract can blow your account if it goes below that $2,000. So, of course, with a micro, it has to move a hell of a lot to hit that. But just so you know, one, it's not like options where you only lose whatever you got in the initial cost of that contract. You literally can lose everything in one day. So, and also you can trade from 6 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. You have to be out of your trades by 5 p.m. Eastern. Some of them you have to close out of your trades by a quarter till, so at 4:45. Some of them might even be at 4:15 p.m. So usually I say it's best if you close your contracts and be out of the trade by 4 p.m. Eastern when the normal market closes, just to be on the safe side. Like here, for example, this is my Apex. Like I said, I had I think it was $18,000, $18,400 this morning. And I was playing 34 contracts. So I only needed like 2 or 3 ticks up, like a little movement up, and I had a take profit set. It actually pushed up, hit my take profit, but it didn't take my take profit. It actually didn't sell and get my contracts, whipped back against me and end up blowing that account. So I blew an account I almost passed because I thought that only happened to me one time in 3 years. Sometimes if you have an actual stop loss, like here, if it hits this, I'm stopping out. 2 times it bypassed, like it jumped over it because it moves so fast, and it didn't take my stop loss. And when that happens and I notice it, I come up here and hit this exit at market, and that will get you out. But if it's moving so fast, it's going to more or less get you out at the worst possible time too. But just so you know that, yeah, Kevin, today was the first time, and it just so happened to be Apex. Wasn't that the problem with you? It was Apex. It was giving you problems where it hit it and wouldn't take it. Yep, it did it to me today, 100%. Now I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's so far for me, it's only happened with Apex. All the other ones, I haven't had it happen, knock on wood, but I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen. Yeah, 34 contracts, and that's only in the evals, because I'm up so much profit wise through prop firms that it's only $40 for the 300K. Well, $50, and then the resets are 40. But so I don't mind doing it. The Apex accounts is kind of my play accounts or my test accounts. Like when I'll test, say, hey, I want to test out and see if this strategy works. I usually do it in my Apex accounts, because I'm funded in Take Profit. I got a 150K funded account, a 50K funded account, in or Top Step. Sorry about that. Tradeify, I got a 100K account funded. Take Profit Trader, tomorrow night I'll have a 50K funded, and I actually am almost funded in my other Top Step account. I need $1,500 in this bottom account. Actually, what the hell? Did I already pass it? 103. What the hell? It screwed me. I should have had a $3,000 that profit. Oh no, that's a 100K account, so I need 6,000, right? Yeah. Yeah, so I need another 3,000 in this bottom account to pass that account. Yeah, if you hear echo, mute. I can unshare my screen unless you guys have any questions on anything. I can reshare it, but if I unshare it, shouldn't be echoing. But yeah, I need the 3,000 in that, and then I'd have 3, which I want to say the max is 3 or 5 in Top Step that you can have funded. So now in Top Step with the funded accounts, to get a payout, you have to have a bare minimum of 5 days of $200 profit or more, and then you can request half of whatever your total profit is. But then that whatever you got left becomes your drawdown. So for me, I'd like at least $4,000 in the account. I'm going to request $2,000 and keep $2,000 as my drawdown in those accounts. Tuesday, tomorrow, I believe, unless we have crazy news. He does them at 8:30 on Tuesdays, Chef. And guys, feel free to DM me if you want to get, like, if you need more help in detail with some stuff. Like tonight, I was on a call with somebody and we shared our screen and stuff, and I was walking them through, some stuff like that too. Yeah, Take Profit Trader is my favorite. Now, with Take Profit Trader, it starts out as an end of day drawdown, but then once you go to the funded stage, until you hit the $2,000 profit, it's a trailing drawdown like Apex, so it kind of follows you. It sucks for that point, but say you make $4,000 today with Take Profit Trader. I think at midnight or whatever, once it registers, your account, you can actually put in a request to withdraw $2,000 down to your buffer, because I like to keep $2,000 in. You keep 80%, they take 20. And I know everybody keeps saying, why don't you trade a personal account? Why keep giving these people 20% or 10%? But if you think about it, like I was explaining earlier to somebody, say for example, you have $10,000 in a personal account, $10,000 in a prop firm account. So if you want to trade 5 minis, you need a bare minimum of $2,500 in that account. So you got $7,500 in the account. You can play with 5,000 of that, If you lose more than 5,000 and go below that 2,500, technically you're going to blow your account in a personal account. In a prop firm account, same thing, $10,000, you have down to, $100 more or less, or that account's blown. Same concept, $10,000 personal account, $10,000 in a funded account or a prop firm account. Say I'm like, you know what? In case of emergencies, I want to have money in the bank, so I'm going to pull $5,000 out. So in a personal account, I'm at $5,000. In a prop firm account, I'm at $5,000. In the personal account, if I'm trading 5 minis, that's $2,500 minimum. So I only have $2,500 to play with. In a prop firm account, I'm at $5,000. 5 minis, I don't have to worry about that margin. I can still trade, no problem. Granted, I have to pay them 10% or 20%. To me, that's the cost of putting up the margin of a personal account. And you can still trade those 5 contracts. Where with a personal account, say you wanted to take out, I don't know, down to $2,500. You take out $7,500. In a personal account, you can't even trade 5 contracts anymore. In the prop firm account, you can still trade those 5 contracts with that $2,500, So to me, that's why I like prop firms, because it does away with the margin completely. And I accept the fact that, yeah, I'm going to pay the 10% or 20%, but that's to allow me to not worry about margin. And how I trade and withdraw money, I'm always withdrawing down to that $2,000. I'm not one that's going to say I got a $100,000 prop firm account. Hell no. I like money in my personal account because I like to spend money. So I'm always going to withdraw, but I could still trade the same way, where if I was in a personal account, I could not do that. So that's the benefits of a prop firm versus, and another benefit is you're a 1099. Once you get a payout, you're considered a 1099 employee. And anybody who's a 1099 contractor knows you literally can write a bunch of stuff off. Where if it's a personal account, the only benefit is the tax benefits of futures, which is what, 60/40? Honestly, I can't remember what it was. But as a 1099 employee, you can write off the cost of the evals, the cost of the activation, the cost of TradingView data, the cost of the internet that you're using. Of course, partial internet that you use for actual trading, your cell phone, because when you're away and you're trading on your phone, you need it. So you can write that off. There's so much you can write off as a 1099 employee. To me, the 1099 outweighs the tax benefits of trading futures straight out. Well, hell, I'll just use myself for example. This year alone, I made around, I posted it before, it was almost $99,000 I made in prop firms. Of course, I paid 20 grand in evals and everything else, but guess what? I could write that 20 grand off also for tax purposes. So it has its benefits. It's crazy. It's now you have to trust the prop firm, and that's why I go with several, because you never know when one's going to go under. Good example is this June. Well, I want to say they came out in May or April time frame. I joined them in June. They were it's called Fast Track Trading. So can you guys still hear me? Or am I talking to myself? Okay. So it was Fast Track Trading, and I ended up getting, I believe it was either $6,000 or $8,000 in payouts with them. And then come November, they went under and went bankrupt. Just as I was ready to ask for another $3,000 payout. So yeah, I lost $3,000, I guess. But in the long run, I didn't spend $8,000 in this prop firm. I may have spent $2,000 to get that $8,000, takeout. So I was still in the good, but it went under. But I was also with Apex, Top Step, and other firms, so I actually had other ones. Yeah, Jimmy should be on at 9 a.m. He'll probably be on at 8:30 unless something happens and he can't make it. I'm sure he'll post something at 8:30. If he can't do his lines when he talks about the lines and stuff. But he's usually on it every morning from 9 a.m. to 12, unless something happens. But he usually lets us know ahead of time, like July time frame. When he's going on vacation, he let us know. And I'm going to try to step in then. Granted, I don't trade exactly how Jimmy trades, as you guys see how I trade. So it'll be different, but as long as I'm not scheduled to go out to the shooting range that week, I'll be able to come on, from 9 to 12, because that's normally when I trade anyway, is, 9:30 to 12 or whatever. Um, so hopefully I'll be able to help out. No, I don't think we have anything that's accessible for non-members. Um, and not that, hey, it's behind the paywall, but it just gives incentive, for the guys who are, decided, hey, I want to join and stick with us and help out. We try to make things easier. I'm not saying these indicators make things easier, but if there's anything we can help out for those people. So normally I'll at 9:25, of course I'm watching the market pre-market. 8:30 is usually news, and you always see that 8:30 candle where it goes crazy. Do not try to trade that with your prop firm. Yes, you can pass it, but you're 100% gambling. Have I done it? Yes, I've done it both ways where I blew accounts and I've passed accounts with it. But I'm watching to see how the market's going, and then at 9 o'clock I listen to Jimmy, and at 9:25 I'm waiting for his call puts, just like an eager, like a dog waiting for a treat, man. I'm just sitting there, just chomping at the bit, salivating, everything's waiting. He tells us his call put lines, I punch them in, I put my orders in, and I just let it ride from there. And it's like I said, it's either going to get me in and I get out. Sometimes, like today, technically I was done at before 9:30, but then I seen his call line as a possibility, so I was like, shit, I'm going to play his call line too. And I played his call line and it hit. And I'm like, huh, no need to trade anymore, right? Yeah, you can copy his lines. We have a video on that. Let me see where it's at. Jimmy, actually, better yet, go ask Yoda. If you ask Yoda, I believe it'll explain and might even point out where the video is, CFC. If you ask Yoda about copying Jimmy's lines, I'm pretty sure Yoda will let you know. And what Chef said. Jimmy has a video on here. Yeah. But it's basically, once you open his live link, there's a copy in the upper right corner. You click on it and it copies it over to your TradingView. Now, if you only have the free version of TradingView, I don't think you can do it because you're limited on how many open copies you can have of. And if you're limited, what you can do is copy it every morning and then at the end of the day delete it, and then the next morning just copy his next ones. That way, if you're limited on how many you can have, you can always do that. As you can see, I'm talking here. Look how many trades I've missed off these extensions here. Boom, 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 boom. Damn. And none of them would have hit the take profit or the stop loss at the 272, except maybe this one here. But all those would have been trades. Okay, wait list. Yeah, it doesn't let me know that someone's joined. So anybody who does join that wait list, please let me know, and I'll get in and I'll go ahead and do the approving stuff. But any questions on anything else or need help that if something I didn't cover? So Beast Trade with the data, if you're through a prop firm and you're logged in, like here I'm logged into my Apex account on TradingView, the data's not delayed. But if I was to log out of course I'm paying for the data on TradingView, but if I wasn't paying for futures data and I log out of my prop account, the data will be delayed then. Kevin, I do have an older video of my actual fib line trades and stuff. So the 1099 will be on I believe it's the growth, whatever they actually pay you. So not the 10% that they take or 20% that they take. Like if they paid you, you know, $1,800 out of the 2,000, then you're going to get it the 1099 on whatever that firm paid you that year, not the percent that they take. Down here, if you go to, let me log out. So on TradingView, if you go to this trading panel and click on Trade of 8 and type in your information in here, that'll give you your futures data. Now, I'm not a tax professional or anything like that, so obviously seek tax advice from somebody else. I just been doing my own taxes for probably ever since I was working. Oh, my bad. Thanks for letting me know that. Here I am. Duh. So to sign in on TradingView over here, let me just blow it up. Down here at the bottom, it says Trading Panel, and then I'm not sure how like yours might be set up, but just look for Trade of 8. You'll click on that, and whatever prop firm information they gave you for a username and password, it's exactly the same. And then that'll give you live data on TradingView. And if you were to sign out of that, if you're not paying for live data, it'll be delayed. It'll have a D or something up here somewhere, probably right here where that green thing is. It'll be a D or something similar. So with the fib lines, they're kind of confusing. Of course, I got more on here than they're like normally these extra red lines aren't on there. It's usually the zero line, and it's everything in between. But I use everything else. But normally, what people do with fib lines is they'll look for like an impulsive move, a big move down or up. So we'll say like this move down here, for example, this huge move down. They might say, okay, we got a big move down here. Technically, we should move. Oops, I have to flip them. We should pull back to the 50%, and look where it pulled back. After this big move down, it pulled back to the 50%. And the 618. A lot of people go off of the 618. You might, if you do a YouTube search with fib lines, it'll say like golden line or golden rule, and it's the 618. I like the 50%. The 236 is another good one. And then like these extensions, with how I draw them, they act as a good support. So for example, if I was drawing this impulsive move down, I'd probably stop it here at this first drop. This first drop, where does it pull back to? 50%. All right. And then what's it do? It pulls down, hits an extension, and then bounces back up. Oops. Bounces back up. So I would play that to the upside. Now we break the extension. So for me, that becomes my new fib point with the candle that closed below it. And then we push up, almost hit the 50, come back down into the extensions. What do? They act as a support. Boom, bounce up, trade until it literally breaks and closes below it. Boom, 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 boom. Breaks and closes below it. would be this candle here. So that becomes my, and then it's same concept, follow it, bounces off these extensions. You could play the extensions until it breaks. It breaks them. So that's how I draw them. But there's, you literally can draw them after each one of these little impulsive moves too. So you can do an intraday. Okay, there's an impulsive move down. Play it back up to that time and hit the 618. All right, and then all right, here we got a huge move down now. Let's see where it stops at. All right, so close there. I expect this thing to eventually pull back up to this 50, or it's going to do a continuation drop down. And you literally can draw it off the one candle on a big candle like that. You can say, well, it should retrace 50% up from there if it's going to have a pullback. It actually pulled back up to the 618 area. And then, it retraced back and then continuation down. So you literally can, it's just all on how you want to use the fibs and draw the fibs. They can, when Jimmy uses them, if his target lines are what is it? I believe it's more than $1 away, he'll use the 50% between those, which it's the 50% of the fib. It's a 50%. And you all know how crazy accurate they are. It's insane. I know it's that when I first joined Jimmy's Discord, I tried trading his lines back then and P Daddy stuff, and it didn't mesh with me. And at the time, and that's where I looked elsewhere and found the fibs and learned a lot about the fibs and made them my own. But so throughout the day, I'll trade the fibs, but in the morning, 100% I'm trading the call put lines. It's just you can't overlook how accurate they are. Like I said, I said this before. I'm not big on, hey, this is my win-loss percentage. But when I'm keeping track of something, and really it's about 100% because only one time in 4 weeks it didn't hit. So it just so happens that there's not that many trades, so the percentage is skewed thinking, okay, it's 95%. But really, out of what, 16, 17 trades now, they've hit, 16 out of 17 trades hit. So you're talking 94% overall, but in the past 3 weeks, it's just been insane accurate. Yeah, it's being recorded Silverback. I'm just gonna have to edit, I'm sure, a lot of stuff out maybe. Yeah, Kevin, there's I know there's, where's it at? I got one of these. I think I have pivots, good pivots. They're pivots, they're Fibonacci or traditional pivot lines, but they're not, to me, it's just because Jimmy uses most recent data, I believe. If you guys pay attention tomorrow in his room, he'll explain it more. But and with how I draw the fibs, it's crazy. Well, I don't have his. Yeah, I do. No, I didn't do it today on his lines. It's crazy how accurate that I say the fibs lines line up with his lines because he actually gives his lines before market even opens, before my fibs even plot. So it's crazy how close they are when it just, and they've always been that way since I've been playing them. Even 2-3 years ago, he'd have his lines, and then when my fib lines would plot, they would come close to almost where his lines are. Granted, there's some that were off, but some of them might have been exactly right, and it's insane how just I don't know how he does it. I do know how he does it. I just can't do it myself because what I call is a support or resistance area. Like I might put one here, Jimmy might put one somewhere else that he sees. It's just how he reads it versus, and I'm just not good at it. His lines that he draws are more accurate than lines that I would draw for for example, call put lines in the morning. There's times where I'll be like, okay, I think this is where his like put line's going to be. This might be where his call line will be, maybe here. And then Jimmy will come on and he'll say his call put lines, and they're a little bit different, and his will hit just crazy. And I'm like, screw it, I'm not even going to attempt it because his are way more accurate. Yeah, so we're back in. I could go. We still got about 9 minutes before we got to switch over to Jimmy. But I could go over it real quick with you. Let me go to today's chart. Get rid of my fibs. All right, so here's the indicator. I have it set for the Qs because it's I trade NQ, and every morning Jimmy will say what the numbers are. So I punch them in, and then this is at 9:25 this morning, and I know you were in the room. So he was saying, we're below that call line or the put line that he's expecting. He'd like to see a pullback, and then enter in for the call. So when this happened here at 9:25, when he said it, the very next candle, 9:26, it pulled back. And what I did, I put an order in here. I have a take profit here in case it does a crazy ass wick. And then I have a stop loss somewhere up in here. And then, so even before price gets there, I literally put the order in because that way there's no hesitation. There's no nothing there. It's just, hey, if it hits, it hits. And I'm in. The very next candle, boom, it pushes down, buys me in. I'm dragging my stop loss down. It starts pulling back. I drop my stop loss. It sells me, boom, I get, okay, cool. Even though the very next candle would hit his profit target. So a conservative way would be you wait for that candle to close, then you put an order in, to close of that candle. But as you can see in futures, especially pre-market, it gaps. So you may not be able to get in right on that line. That's why I like to really play the specific line because I literally put an order in. And then at market open, it did exactly what he said. It's going to pull back, and then you could play it back to the downside. Now the call line up here, after I got out of that trade, I put an order in here. So if we break above it, it buys me in. Profit target. Stop loss. And then this candle at 9:32 pushed up. Of course, it didn't go directly to his take profit, or because if it did, I would have sold out. So I'm dragging my stop loss up, and then somewhere in here it started pulling back, so I drop it, and this is where I got out. I didn't catch that whole ride, and it's literally just because that's how I trade. So you can get that. So my stop loss, if I go over here, I got to sign back in real quick. I usually put 100 point or 100 tick stop loss, but I don't keep it there. I'll move it, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Let me go back to MNQ. All right. I'm just going to, oops. All right. So as you can see, it puts my profit target here. My stop loss is here, but I'll drag my stop loss down to wherever I want it. And then my profit target to, whichever fib point it's at, I'll move it up and then leave it there. But initially it's further away. That way, whenever I first buy in, I have time to move it to where I want it. Because if I put it too tight right away, shit, that's not gonna, I pushed it down into it. And here's an example. If you're trying to move it on TradingView and price has already moved past it or whatever, you see how it locks it out. I can't hit X or nothing. Now I can hit the X here and it'll close my account, close my trade, but I can't move my stop loss here. If I come over here to the DOM, I can move my stop loss again over here though if I wanted to. But TradingView, it kind of locks it up and then it releases it to where I can move my stop loss down now to here. Take profit, I'll just push it up to here. So you take the put before, I put the order in before market even opens, yes, Chica. Yeah, 4 ticks equals 1 point.